Hey there, I'm Jody Seibert, your bookkeeping coach, here with a short demo on Xero, which is small business accounting software, also known as beautiful accounting software because of its streamlined, simplistic look that is it's not cluttered. So the website would be xero.com. It's available in multiple countries, but there is a US edition. First thing, of course, everyone wants to know, what's it going to cost me? As you can see, it is quite affordable. Most clients I work with in Xero go with this growing plan. If you're just starting out and not sending more than 20 invoices and don't need some of these other things, you can probably get away with the early edition depending on the size of your organization and the number of transactions you have. Let's just jump right in here to the dashboard. When you log into Xero, you notice that this is the demo company. Every Xero account has their own copy of the demo company to go in and play with and do what you want, test imports, whatever you want to play with. Is fully, you can see it's populated with data, so you can see how it would work for you. This dashboard, there's an edit dashboard. You can, when you click edit, you can hide and show and drag these things around in any order that you want to customize this to the way you want this to look when you log in. Of course, these are your bank feeds. You can see that these are connected to the bank feed when you click on the reconcile button. You can see now the statement down, these are different because there were transactions entered in Xero that have not been reconciled to the bank yet because they haven't come through or there's a mistake or something like that. On the left side of the screen would be, these are the transactions from the bank. On the right side is where you tell Xero what to do. I like this unique discuss feature where I train clients to put in here what you know about this transaction, even if you don't know what to do with it. And then there's a save button. See if I just hit enter and now there's a save button. So save my comments and we can actually have conversations going back and forth on these things. You can match a transaction, you can create it, you can transfer it. So when you create, Xero is somewhat unique in that it requires a payee on all transactions for what they call this. You see the terminology spent, received. So you have to have a who, the what would be a category from your chart of accounts, and then the description, any information you would want to put in there. Tax rate, if that happens to apply to you, I believe they integrate with Avalara to get their tax rates for sales tax. Region would be part of what they call tracking codes, otherwise known as class codes, if you need to do departments and other things like that. Adding details lets you add, if you need to split a transaction between multiple regions, accounts, and then of course there's direct payment, prepayment, and overpayment as it happens. And then when you enter information over here that then totals to be $1,000, if we just do this and we choose that was a received money, so we can quickly find a income account and just call that sales. And now you see we've filled in the required information, totals, and you just click OK, and it's now reconciled. Transfer would be, say you transferred money from one account to the other, usually, and a lot of companies that's you transferred money from your checking account to pay your credit card or something like that. And then you would have multiple accounts here to choose from to match that too. So that's that. Since as you record each transaction, you are technically reconciling the account. So there is no actual reconcile function similar to other accounting software. There is the reconciliation report that allows you to run the report for the date of your bank statement to verify that everything is good and matches. And of course, these account transactions can show you what's been reconciled. Like these two that are not reconciled are why the balance does not match, because you have these transactions in here that haven't been reconciled yet. So, and that's a good way to identify issues. Bank statements actually show you Doesn't bring in the physical bank statement. These are the imports. So you can show the individual lines that came in or the statements, which is useful to figure out if the bank feed skipped or duplicated transactions. You see here, terminology again is a little bit different. Spend money would be your expenses, say credit card expense, debit card expense. Receive money would be like a sales receipt type of thing, or a random deposit that does not go against a customer invoice. Transfer money, again, would be transferring money from one bank account to the other, or your credit card. You can import when you first start your Xero account and the bank feed doesn't go back far enough, you can import your transactions, or if the bank feed broke, as happens with a lot of banks these days, you can still import your transactions. Xero is quite robust in providing templates to import pretty much anything, and it will import standard files provided by banks to get them into your feed. If we come back to the dashboard, you see, again, you can reorganize this. You can have an account watch list if you want to watch certain income and expense, quickly see things that came in, bills to pay, who owes you, your cash situation right here. If we come across to business, we have some analytics and a graphical interface to give you this sort of a visual graph way of looking at what's going on with your books. You do have expense claims, and the projects are a buy-up if you happen to need them. There are purchase orders, bills to pay, just like in other software. You can print your checks. You can integrate with third-party bill pay services. Xero has a very extensive third-party app integration market. You'll probably find that it integrates with pretty much everything you're already using. The close feature, like most accounting software, is a bit light. If you like to include your contract with your proposals, it's a little light on that. I happen to use Quotient, have for quite some time. It integrates with Xero. Quotes are accepted, pushes a draft invoice into Xero that I can then send out. Let's pop into the Xero, or it's the invoicing feature. You see you can do new invoices. You can do recurring invoices. You can create groups of contacts if you need to invoice a group of people all at once, say for a training session or something like that. There is an approval feature. You can see what's awaiting payment, what has been paid, and then of course you can see your recurring invoices out there that you can determine whether, frequency and saved as draft. Saving as draft is something unique to Xero in that if you're not quite ready to send out an invoice, you can save your work and not lose it. And that it's kind of unique to Xero. If you'll see that you can also import, Xero was very generous with providing its own Excel templates to import data. So you will not need a third party to really import most of your data, although there are integrations if you're in e-commerce or something like that. They have Bookkeep and Cinder and some of those others that with an integration will do that automatically for you. Invoice reminders, when you turn them on, remind your clients to pay you. Fully customizable, again, with days, email content, add your own. You have your placeholders here to customize the message, and you can send these out as often as you need to and customize them. I think that was all I wanted to say about invoices. Let's kind of jump into under the accounting. Manual journals are journal entries. Chart of accounts, again, highly customizable, just like anything else. They do require the account numbers, and you can add a bank account. You can. This is actually kind of cool because you can archive them, and then if you just want to see, say, just your revenue accounts, you can just only look at your revenue accounts. And of course, you can edit these names to be anything that you need them to be. And when you add a bank account, that means you also can connect to that bank feed. Projects, is in the highest subscription if that's how you work and want to be able to track time and expenses and things specifically at the project level. Contacts is kind of unique in that you can create groups, say for your 1099s, if there's people by, product line or groups that you have to invoice for, say, membership fees or something like that. Your contacts are grouped. Once there's a transaction, they're grouped either as a customer or a vendor. This is how you do that. You can merge them. You can archive them. I'm just going to edit one here real quick. Actually, I'm going to go back because there's actually something kind of interesting they show you. When you pull up a customer, it shows you right off the bat their invoice, their history. If you just want to see what has happened with this customer, and you can run any of the reports. You can attach files, even invoices, bills, even here. The interesting thing is you can have multiple contacts for each of your customers or vendors in here, financial details. Let me just go in here and edit this because this is kind of unique. You can have multiple contacts with that. And for the sales defaults, an interesting thing is you can set a default sales account, their own due dates, tax settings. Credit limits is unique that you can shut them off when they've racked up too much and they're not paying you. But you can create any number of invoice themes and assign them at the customer level or just use your company default. So if you have a customer, say a government contract or grant or something like that needs very specific things, this is how you can set that. And if there's the region is a tracking code, so you can set defaults there as well. The Xero network key would be if they also use Xero, that when you create an invoice, it's just automatically transferred from your Xero account to theirs. Never actually used that. Not sure how that works. So of course you have gobs and gobs of reports, manual journals. Let's just do the income statement. These are all highly customizable. You can set your favorites. There's all kinds of things. I like this by default. You can just pull it up and do current in 3 months to start seeing trends. The reports can be exported to. I've always liked this. Used to be their default format. I still like it because it's just you immediately see trends. You can save this as, of course, a draft. You can publish it so it can be read later. But you can export it to Google, Excel. Styled PDF would be if you create report styles, and that's mostly at the advisor accountant level, or export them as a PDF. There are management report packs that can be set up as well. So that was kind of a super quick walkthrough. There's a lot more to this program. Happy to do a more in-depth demo specific to your organization if you have an interest. I hope you have found this useful. Have a great day.